You want to talk about something aging badly. This is 9 days
Manager
old.
called me and said George Clooney and Julia Roberts wanted me to help out the president and speak here tonight. And I said, I am in. When and where? And thank you.
Thank you. Look at this clown outfit he's fucking wearing. This is Jack Black, for those of you who don't know. And Jack Black is going to let the world know he's cool, he's hip, he's down with the young folks. He's Jack Black. And he's all in for President Biden. Look at the fucking thing with the eyes. How do you think that's going right now in the old Jack Black household? Jack, god damn it. I told you not to fucking do that stupid shit. How was I supposed to know? I was fucking high on blow.
And then they said, Jack, we know how busy you are. You don't have time. Look at all the other events that are happening tonight that you already turned down. MC at the Fliegelman Bat Mitzvah. The opening of the new Jack in the Box in Oxnard. Judge at the second annual Imperial
Look
Valley
at that
Avocado
outfit.
Festival. You don't see that on Meryl Streep's resume. I said, I know I turned them down, but my president needs me.
Yeah, he needed you last night. Where were you last night, Jack? Where were you last night, Jack? Where were you last night, Jack? He needed a lot of shit last night. Man. Biden, let's take a quick gander. Let's take a quick gander at all the fucking lefties screeching, oh dear God, what's going to fucking happen? The young Turks who will replace Joe Biden. Yeah, it wasn't good last night. Trump's blatant lies and Biden's senior moments. I told you this guy is the worst of the worst type of fucking influencer and fucking propagandist. Why? Because Biden lied his ass off too. What did Joe Biden say? If we finally beat Medicare, wow. If we finally beat Medicare. Talk about saying the fucking quiet part out loud. Yeah, we gotta finally get rid of that fucking Medicare and the Social Security shit and that New Deal stuff. What? This is live? This mic is what? Oh shit. Give me some more fucking Adderall. Yes indeed. You see it? It's the democracy edition. It's the democracy edition of the American Everyman show. And that's what this is going to be today, a show. We've got a clown, a fucking ass clown, running against poopy pants. The only thing that was missing last night was Joe Biden making a face, looking around, go, I pooped my pants. He's done. But Assange, Assange, I pooped my pants. I told you yesterday, we're doing this thing now on Thursdays, next July 4th. I know it just worked out that way. It's going to be the first one. No one's going to show up, but that's okay. I might get a sparkler. Sit here. Go America. I might not. Depends on the budget. If it's in the budget. A box of sparklers is what nowadays? About $78. Oh my God. Yeah, this is democracy. This is the greatest democracy in the world. This is the shining city on the fucking hill. Oh my God. We're gonna watch a little bit of the fucking debate. And I'm gonna react a little bit to it. I hate reaction videos. Rack. But how do you not with this? It's just so fucking absurd. From him to come and walking out on the stage to Donald Trump walking out on the stage. They're both so self-conscious. They're both so. Can you imagine the fucking debate between, I don't know, Putin and Xi Jinping? They couldn't even walk out on stage because they're both so fucking self-conscious. They're both such hollow people. Well, one's super hollow and self-conscious, this one, and the other one is. He's lucky he didn't poop his pants while he was walking us. He might have. Who the fuck knows? Jack Black wouldn't care. He'd go out there and fucking change his diaper with his teeth. If, George Clooney and, some other celebrities paid him a little bit of fucking attention, because obviously nobody is, because he's fucking Jack Black, talentless hack. Okay, so, how's that aging for you, Jack? Dumb fuck. Hi guys, how you doing? Today is Friday. It is the 28th day of June, 2024. I never get the date right. It's about 8:30 in the morning. And this is today's video. And how could I miss it? How could I not? I know it's fucking ridiculous. But, people are talking about the wrong shit, like, for instance, Jon Stewart. Oh, he's lying, and Biden has senior moments. Senior moments. He's fucking brain dead. Biden is fucking brain dead. Until he was able to say some fucking shit about his son. My son. And then after that, I want tapioca. But my son, you damn my tapioca. He eats Adderall flavored fucking ice cream. What flavor ice cream would you like today, Mr. President? I want tapioca. Well, Mr. President, we don't have tapioca. I'm the president. I want tapioca. I want tapioca. Okay, for God's sake, Jesus. That's what we have as President of the United fucking States of America. Donald Trump at one point in time, I'm going to play it. I swear to God, I'm going to play it. At one point in time goes, the most embarrassing thing we ever did was leave Afghanistan. Really? That was the most embarrassing moment for our country. The people pushing fucking Hueys off the side of a goddamn aircraft carrier so we could fit more of our goddamn death squads onto the fucking aircraft carrier. That's not fucking embarrassing? Is that embarrassing? How about the fact that the rest of the goddamn world understands that you had a higher percentage of dying from the fucking mRNA COVID jabs than COVID itself? The rest of the world understands that, and yet this jackass are acting as if the mRNA jabs saved hundreds of millions of fucking lives. That's kind of embarrassing, don't you think? Here's another embarrassing moment for the fucking country. You ready for this one? I'm gonna give it to you like what's her fucking name from Wheel of Fortune. You ready for this one? Pow! That's kind of embarrassing, don't you think? Fuck, the most embarrassing moment is leaving the illegal occupation of another country. That was just embarrassing. How about George W. Bush standing on top of a pile of rubble that still contained the remains of the 3,000 people who died in it, declaring, "Oh, I can hear you, and in a little while, the people who did this will hear us all." Yay! How embarrassing was that? Especially when you consider his vice president was the one who fucking did it. How embarrassing is that? We'll talk about embarrassing moments. We're going to talk about this. We're going to play the first little bit of it for you. Up until Joe Biden's famous line. Let me read it again for you. I don't want to misquote the president. Jack Black might get upset with me. If we finally beat Medicare, we're going to get to that point. And I don't know how much more I can do it after that. We'll see how long this video is at that point. It's already too long if you ask me. But I mean, we'll see where it goes from there. Holy shit, good God. Oh my God. let's do that. Let's do a react video in honor of my friend DSP. He's nobody's friend. I'm just kidding. In honor of DSP, we're gonna do a react video, and I'm just gonna pause it from time to time because that's just the way it is. And I hope there's gonna be no commercials. We're gonna try to watch them walk in. When do they walk in? They get 2 minutes. He's laying out the plan. I don't know. It's somewhere in here. I hope I don't watch commercials.
Both candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules.
Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States.
Here he goes. Hey, okay, where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, there? Okay, thank you. I made it. I made it. Now.
And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump.
And that's right. Self-conscious walk. I hope I look all right. I hope I look good. Now notice, there's no fucking handshake. Notice there's no handshake. And, oh, God damn it. And, ladies, I gotta go this whole process the whole fucking time. God damn it. There's no handshake. Oh, what is going on with this damn camera? There's no handshake, and that's just going to be obnoxious. How about that? There's no handshake. My cat scratched me on my head when I was playing with it. Okay. There's no hand. I'm not turning into Cyrex. There's no handshake, and there's no fucking audience. There's no audience. There's no audience. Because we are the envy of countries across the fucking world. We can't even manage to put together an audience for these two because we're so worried about how they'll react. Donald Trump will start screaming. Joe Biden will just shit on himself and fall asleep. Maybe I haven't got to make it big screen. Let's just do this and see how this works.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120.
It's more than that.
And typical home prices have jumped more than...
You like how he says more than $120? For a basket of groceries that cost $100, which was already high when you took office, and now costs more than $120. How much more? Well, let's move on to the next question, Scott. How much more? About $70 more than $120. But it costs, I'm not lying, it costs more than $120. $170 is more than $120, so he's okay. He's not really lying to you. He's not doing his best. Now remember, this guy, Jake Tapper, is going to save Biden when he does this if we finally beat Medicare shit line. He's going to save Biden by jumping in. Okay, let's move on to the next question. It costs more than $120. Yeah, 170 is more than 120, so he's not really lying.
30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach in your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out
15 million new jobs. But most of those were jobs that were just coming back from people reopening the places once these guys, allowed it, once states allowed businesses to reopen. Then, of course, certain jobs came back. But he says 15,000 new jobs, which he means to say is 15 million new jobs. But they aren't new. They weren't really new. They had been pre-existing before the useless fucking shutdown. The painful fucking shutdown.
A position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, but there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come of
Gives a
household
shit.
where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month.
Gives a shit. Who gives a shit where you came from? Your kids are fucking silver spooners. Connor is not Connor. Your kids are fucking silver spooners. Connor's a RFK Jr. son. You're born to privilege, and you made your fucking money on the grift in government. You made your fucking money getting fucking kickbacks from businesses, like the ones that gave your son a fucking job in Ukraine. That's how you made your money, through graft. And let me say this too. All this, he's not, this is the bullshit that fucking Jon Stewart won't tell you. This is the truth that Jon Stewart won't tell you through his bullshit. Oh, it's a senior moment. That's not a senior moment. That's lies. Not only did he continue with the goddamn lockdowns and shutdowns of the economy in order to bring about a crisis which would allow for a great reset, but he also, in 2021, his first year, pumped over 400% more fucking arms into fucking Ukraine with the mandate that they had to lob them into fucking Donbass to the point where Russia would get involved and be pulled into fucking Ukraine. Then as soon as that happened, if you recall, everything was about, we got to shut the economy down. We got to stop taking all this. They stopped vessels in the water off the coast of Florida, off the coast of fucking California, and didn't allow them to bring the fucking goods in and bring the fucking fuel in and bring the liquid natural gas in. They stopped them. There were trucks waiting by the hundreds outside the fucking ports. Nope, couldn't bring them in. Why? They were making the economy scream, and he's part of it. He did it. Trump started it with the whole lockdown bullshit for COVID. We'll talk about that in a second when he brags about his handling of COVID. But let's not forget, he's like, oh, we had all these problems. No, they did this shit on purpose. They made the economy scream. That's what you do when you want to change an economy, when you want to change a political structure, when you want to change a social structure. Kissinger said that shit about Chile, 1973. Make the economy scream so that we can regime change them. That's what he was doing. And none of it was needed, including the fucking lockdowns after the goddamn COVID. There's a article out now, a study out now someplace, I forget, I saw it yesterday. And they're talking about, they had come to realize in this country, I think it's a U.S. study, they come to realize that forcing people to stay at home in their little fucking houses with a few people was the antithesis of what you wanted to do in a situation like what was going on. Remember when they said there's no such thing as fucking natural immunity. There's no such thing as shared immunity. No such thing as someone getting the fucking cold, getting the fucking flu bug, and then developing antibodies to it, and then sharing antibodies. That's what happens. That's how these things are fucking eventually beaten, right? That's how that happens. No, stop that. Everything they did was to protect the fucking virus. Everything they did, including Trump, starting with Trump, and of course continuing with this motherfucker, right? It was the worst thing to do. Because you would have familial, is that the word? Familial fucking breakouts in the household. And they couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't do anything. God knows you can't take ivermectin. That's horse paste. You couldn't take hydroxychloroquine. No. All you can do is take the useless fucking mRNA experimental jab and then sit there with your fucking family getting sicker, passing it back and forth. I don't understand. We got the fucking jabs, we got the fucking boosters. Here we are in the house. We just keep passing it back and forth. I don't understand. Somebody wants you to die. That's what you're missing. That's the point that you're missing. But they just realized that. They just did a study on that. I talked about this in 2021. Other people who were intelligent, not me, people who were intelligent figured that shit out. Doctors, researchers, scientists, immunologists. Well, that's kind of a bad idea. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Stay at home. Close this down, close that down. No communal, no funerals, no weddings. Fuck you. Sit in your house and wait until you get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker, and then finally you go in. Oh, it's too late. That's what they did. That's what he did. You're talking about the fucking economy. He deliberately fucking shut down or his people deliberately shut down the economy because Russia bad. It's not our fault. We can't have wheat in Europe. It's not our fault. Fucking Germany. Germany was trying to get through it all right, was doing okay. They blew up Nord Stream pipeline. So Germany couldn't get fucking fuel, couldn't get energy. This was deliberate. Let me show you something real quick. Well, I would show you, but here, go. We haven't got time, but go. Look, U.S. poverty rate graph. What's the poverty rate? Compare it to China's, compare it to Russia's. Compare it to Russia's. Here, let me just show you the one. We'll show you Russia's. I hope this works. Russia poverty rate. Fuck you. Russia poverty rate. Putin bad. Putin evil. Really? Putin evil, Putin bad, huh? There have been no statistics. Even through the fucking, even through the fucking, the great days with the goddamn fucking, the Harvard boys, not the Chicago boys, the Harvard boys, the fucking, what's that guy's name who's now some kind of big fucking lefty goddamn guy. He was there as well. They were high. This is 1999. 1999 in Russia. All of a sudden, look at all this. All through 2008, massive decreases. Then it stops for a little while. It slows down for a little while. This is a decrease in poverty rate. From this to this. From 1999 to 2008. Look at the poverty rate. What happened during that time? He was prime minister from 1990 to 2000, and then was president from 2000 to 2008. Who? Vladimir Putin. And that's what he did. That's what he did right there. That's a massive drop. That's a China-sized drop in the poverty rate. And all he's been doing since then is being able to keep it holding steady. He went up a slight increase, not even a full point there, and then down to 4.10. Nowhere in Europe is it under 11.3. Nowhere in Europe, as of 2021, nowhere in Europe is it under 11%, 11.5%, nowhere. And ours dipped down below fucking 11.5 at one point and then was back up. Ours goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. You have a steady decrease in Russia since Putin came to office. You have a steady decrease in China since Xi Jinping came to office. You have steady decreases in the poverty rates in places like Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, in spite of the fact that we impose sanctions on them. And Russia's holding true as well. Now, it's hard to say because they haven't got all the poverty numbers since 2022, when this thing kicked off in February, so we'll have to see what our sanctions on Russia did. But something tells me it wasn't that big. These guys are sitting here just fucking lying through their teeth. Both of them, Mr. Stewart. Both of them are lying through their teeth. But when you compare them to other countries who are on par with us in terms of population and economic power, we're not even close. We're not even close. And theirs are moving in one direction. Down. The poverty rate is going down. China has pulled more people out of poverty than all other fucking nations combined in history. That's a fact. Because China was so big and they had a 90%, 95% poverty rate at one point. That's a lot of people.
Problem. The price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination of what I was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people. To $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. In a situation
that's still too high. That's still too high.
All Americans.
He's talking about the fact that he did all this shit
on the kitchen table, and that's.
He's talking about he did all this shit to bring down the price of prescription drugs. They brought down the price. Their bill brought down the price of like 20. 20. And they left the obvious vast majority of them alone. Let the glorious markets decide. They didn't hurt the fucking pharmaceutical industry's profit margins. The profit margins for the pharmaceutical industries are through the goddamn roof. Have been. During both Trump and Biden. He talked about 1 or 2 fucking drugs. 1 or 2 he mentions in this. They did it for 20. Look it up. They run around touting those. Oh my God, we've saved the fucking world. You ain't saved shit. Plus, in a few minutes, he's going to talk about how they're finally trying to beat fucking Medicare.
We're going to get done.
Thank you, President Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done
That's
so well.
That's not true.
Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID. And when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good.
Everything was rocking good. When he left, bars had shut down. Stores had shut down. Medium-sized, small-sized businesses had shut down. Cabinet shops had shut down. People couldn't go to church. They couldn't go to weddings. Everything was rocking good. For whom? I'll tell you for whom. For the billionaires who profited off of fucking COVID. That's for whom. For Amazon, Bezos. It was rocking great for Bezos. Because everybody had to order shit from Amazon. What is he talking about? Is he on drugs? We know Biden's on drugs. I haven't got to ask if Biden is on drugs. It's like we don't remember. Of course we remember. Wasn't that long ago, dude? Who the fuck are you talking to? That's why you got no audience. Everything was rocking good because of his fucking tax cut for the rich and deregulation. I swear to God, he's about to talk about, pat himself on the back because of his tax cut for the rich and deregulation. Oh, he's such an alternative to the establishment. The establishment is neoliberal. Bush, neoliberal. Reaganomics, pure neoliberal. Margaret Thatcher, neoliberal. Clinton, neoliberal. Barack Obama, neoliberal. Tax cuts for the rich and for big business, and deregulation, which makes more money for big business and the rich. Everything was rocking good, he says. What the fuck are you talking about? And let's be honest. I mean, I know a lot of people out there watch my stuff and they're like, okay, Scott, we'll tolerate your lefty fucking commie shit. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The Rona shit happened on his watch. And he was all on board with locking shit down and states, allowing states to lock shit fucking down, close businesses off. They took the basketball hoops. They chained a fucking playground so kids couldn't come and play. And they fucking took, and then when they found out the kids were climbing the fence and playing with each other with a basketball in the fucking sunshine and fresh air, they took the fucking hoops off the fucking backboards. This is across the fucking country. This is his. They were going into skate parks and filling them with fucking sand so kids couldn't get exercise, sunshine, and fresh air. They were chasing people off beaches, arresting people under his watch. Things were rocking good. The fuck is he talking about? And let's not forget, Operation Warp Speed, where the military was used under his watch. The military was used to get all these fucking jabs that didn't fucking work and killed more people than the Rona. Get these fucking jabs and rush them out to get them in people's fucking arms as fast as he fucking could. The same military doing that, by the way, which made fucking this company called Moderna with the express purpose of manufacturing mRNA jabs a year and a half before COVID made its appearance. What a fucking coincidence that was. The same military, Defense Threat Reduction Agency, with National Institute of Health's National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, that contracted EcoHealth Alliance to make SARS-CoV-2. They made it, and they made the mRNA fucking jabs to fight it, to combat it. And then he let those people, gave them tons of fucking money through Operation Warp Speed to grab all those fucking jabs and boxes and take them all over the country to make sure you get them jabbed into your fucking children's goddamn arms. The shit that killed more people than it helped. And they knew it the whole fucking time. That's why he's in a clown costume. That's why he's in a clown costume. Or clown makeup. Don't fucking tell me. He's a pure neoliberal, and he was 100% behind the goddamn COVID psyop. 100%. Either through stupidity, or through laziness, or complicity. Either way, he's a fucking clown. Like it or not. You think I'm just going to shit on this motherfucker? This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Fucking Iran has better candidates in their goddamn election. They do. They just do. This is embarrassing.
But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country, but other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody.
Oh, thank God, the stock market. Billionaires making money. Stock market making money. Stock market is all that fucking matters to this billionaire. Talking about his glorious fucking tax breaks for the fucking rich. It's going to trickle down all over you motherfuckers. We learned that lesson back in 1980 for 8 years. And then, of course, another fucking 20, 30. We learned that lesson. Trickle down economics doesn't work. Thanks. But you know what's funny? Jake Tapper's going to say, hey, what about when Donald Trump's fucking tax breaks for the rich expire in a year and a half? What are you going to do then? Biden, Trump? Says Jake Tapper, who's rich. Who's rich? What are you going to do? Huh? Rich people want to know. But Biden didn't change that. They could have changed that. The Democrats could have changed that instantly. As soon as they came into power, Democrats could have changed those tax breaks. No, of course not. Of course not. Because rich people are the only ones that matter in this fucking mammon-worshipping country we live in.
Thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs, the bounce-back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
What is Biden? Is
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks that we have the greatest economy in the world. And,
statistically,
the fact
of course not.
Is that we find ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history.
Like you.
$2
And you did
trillion.
nothing. And you didn't touch it.
Larger than any president has in any one term.
And you didn't touch
He's
it.
the only
You left it
president
in
other than
place.
Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant in the military. When he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still found ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
You want to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we gave you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China.
Well, how does he even think that's possible? How does he even think that's possible? Of course, an increased tariff on fucking imports is going to cost more because all the companies, the businesses in China, they're not commies. They're business owners. They're just going to pass on the cost to the consumer. He's a businessman. He understands that. He's just lying through his teeth. He's lying. Of course, it's going to cost money. It's also going to cost money when they impose the same kinds of equal tariffs, if not worse, on imports from the United States into China, which means you're going to have less manufacturing going out to China, and you're going to lose jobs. Tariff wars, it's pretty obvious, and history has always been the same. Tariff wars going back and forth between countries doesn't do either one of them any good. It's just a fact.
It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history.
Wow, neoliberal fucking economics. He's so proud. He's such a different guy. He's such a populist. He's so opposed to the establishment neoliberal economic ideology. Except for the fact that he's bragging and boasting about how he holds up to neoliberal economic ideology. Biden's not going to fucking challenge him on that. Of course not. Why? Because he's also he's passing out. He's also a fucking neoliberal. There's only one economic ideology allowed in America, and that's savage capitalism. That's neoliberal economic ideology. Period. End of story. You can call it what you want. You can call it centrist for the fucking Dems. You can call it for the alt-Dems. You can call it fucking libertarianism for the alt-rights. But it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing.
Again, he's wrong. But he's not wrong in the 14 months, but the 14 months, it wasn't because he was spending money. Oh my God, we can't spend money on people. Fuck that shit. We got to cut fucking costs. We got to cut fucking Social Security. We got to cut fucking Medicare. We got to cut fucking Medicaid. We got to cut education programs. Fuck all that. We got to be thrifty. No. 14 months into his fucking presidency, what happened? Russia. That's what happened. They deliberately tanked the economy. They made the economy scream. Coming out of COVID. Well, still, COVID was still going on. That's what happened. Had nothing to do with spending too much money.
Probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both...
Yesterday evening was, without a doubt, the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life. Yesterday. I didn't think it could get any worse back in 2016 after Hillary Clinton stole the election, stole the nomination, tried to steal the election. But then, so we had Hillary and a guy who I swear to God shaved Vince McMahon's head in the middle of the fucking ring. A hair versus hair fucking match. A guy who hit somebody over the head with a chair in the WWE in a match. That was our president. That was our president. That's straight from Idiocracy. I forget the character's name, the black guy with the real long blonde hair. Forget the actor's name who played him. He was fucking funny. Oh, a former wrestler turned president. I didn't think it could get any worse between corrupt Hillary, psychopathic corrupt Hillary. We saw he died. That psychopath. And Donald Trump. The WWE Hall of Famer, Donald Trump. I didn't think it could get any worse than that. I mean, that's the worst moment in our country's history. Oh, I just did that. No, God damn it.
Copying us, we got hit with...
The fact of the matter is that we found ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's had lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant in the military. I'm the only president this century.
God damn it.
He made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. And they don't know what they were doing. It was probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was his life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt. Well, so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year.
Here we go.
You want to extend them and go even further, you say.
Yes.
With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt,
More breaks
why
for big
should top
business
earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that
Says
tax
who?
spurred. Now, when we cut
Spurred.
the
It says
taxes,
spurred.
as an example,
Spurred.
the corporate
Spurred.
tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took
Right.
in more
Even
revenue
more than
with much less
21%.
tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country.
That never
The
happened.
country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something
Drill,
that
baby,
nobody else
drill.
has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration.
And he gave him all those great therapeutics. mRNA jabs. Which killed more people than they saved.
And we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not
Look
only
at him smirking. What is he smirking about? If you believe their fucking numbers, we're talking millions of people died from this shit, and he's sitting here smirking.
poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore.
Gee.
We're like a third world nation between
Gee, I wonder why they don't respect our leadership.
weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block.
Look at his-
President
look at his
Biden,
look.
I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
Okay, now.
And he had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two,
I think this is the one where he just kind of drifts off. I'm hoping because I can't watch too much more of this shit.
that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy.
True.
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America.
Okay, this is pissing me off. I can't stop it when I want to stop it. We had, he said, yeah, it helped the richest people in America, which is why it's still in place. He had plenty of time to fucking go redo that tax break. Never did, and never will while he's president. Even if he wins, they're going to take that tax break in a year and a half when it's over. They're going to take that tax break and continue it, just like Obama did the Bush tax cuts. It's going to keep going down and down and down, while poverty rate keeps going up and up and up.
And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they've raised $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look,
He's out.
if
He's gone.
we finally beat Medicare,
Hey,
Look at that look on his face. Look, we finally beat Medicare. You think that is some kind of quote unquote senior moment from Jon Stewart. Let's go back and listen to what he's actually saying.
$100 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do.
Strengthen our healthcare system. We make sure every single person is available for what I've been trying to do. What's he been trying to do? Privatize Medicare and get everybody on the Obamacare plan. Make sure everyone is eligible for what I've been trying to do. That's what he's been trying to do. He's been trying to privatize Medicare. So he bumbles and he fumbles, and what does he come up with?
Do with the with the COVID, with
healthcare.
Dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to...
Right. And it just moved again. Did it move again?
He also said he inherited 9% inflation.
Okay, so I did it again. That's twice. We're going to be done. I'm done. I'm sorry. I can't do this. I keep going back and forth. Finally beat Medicare. That's exactly what he said exactly what he's thinking. He said the quiet part out loud. We finally beat Medicare. We get rid of this Medicare and we privatize the entire medical industry and the insurance industry and the healthcare industry. We beat Medicare. That's what he meant. He said what he meant. Which is why it's in the title of my fucking thing. It's not a slip up. Well, it is a slip up, but it's not a mistake. He said the quiet part out loud. Because they're both pure fucking neoliberals. I could go on and watch it. There's a ton of other ones that happen. I wonder if they, when it comes time to talk about Israel, if they actually bring like a male sex doll out with a picture of fucking Benjamin Netanyahu taped to the fucking head of it, and if they just take turns getting on their knees and blowing it in front of the fucking cameras. I'm going to give $60 billion a day to Israel to kill those orcs. Well, I'm going to do $61 billion a day to kill the orcs, and I'm going to blow Netanyahu every morning. They're going to fly me over there, I'm going to blow him and fly me back. Finally fucking kill off Medicare, huh? That's the president. That's the left. The left-leaning president in the United States of America. The guy that Jack Black is endorsing. Proudly endorsing, wearing his clown outfit. Because George Clooney asked him to show up. Well, I'll show up. I won't shave, but I'll show up. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, all the people who have been trying for the last 4 months, 5 months to say, fuck you, we don't need a primary. We don't need anybody to primary our fucking president. Fuck you. Joe Biden's just fine. He's shitting on himself and screaming in the White House, in the Oval Office, because he wants tapioca instead of banana pudding for his lunch. Anybody who's been on the side of just, I don't know, hold your nose, or the lesser of two evils, or don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, and you know, but Trump, this is the guy. This is the guy you want at a time when, oh, I don't know, shit's really getting kind of iffy when it comes to, I don't know, war with a major world power. Yeah, that's the guy I want in charge. Can we play the push the button game? No, Joe, for God's sake. Oh. Boop. Joe, what did you do? Nothing? You push the button, you don't get any tapioca. God damn it! Don't you talk about my son! That's that OD Adderall. I think they also made him take a break. They got a halftime for the thing, and he went back. And when he came back off the side of the stage after the fucking break, he was like jacked. His eyes were all wide. Oh my God. A senile Adderall junkie. That's who we want running the fucking White House when we're about to fucking go to war with China and Russia and Iran all at the same fucking time. Probably Pakistan and India as well. Yeah, that's what we want. Fucking Adderall fucking whacked out fucking president. He needs to be picked up off the sidewalk from time to time. I mean, come on, guys. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Both of these two. This is the best we've fucking got? It's not. It's not the best we have. Stop with the fucking Trump worship. Stop with but Trump on the other side, on the left side. Stop with the Trump worship. Stop with the Trump hate. This is fucking a clown show. It's our politics are a clown show. We got Benjamin Netanyahu still on the fucking schedule for July 24th to come speak before both houses of Congress. And as he walks through the fucking crowd, they're all going to just drop to their knees and open their mouths and hope the glorious Israeli one sticks his fucking junk in their mouths. This is the state of politics. And he thinks the most embarrassing thing we ever did was leave an illegally occupied fucking country. These people are fucking idiots. Both of them. Both of them. And here we are. I told you, we're going to get together, Scotty's side show, an homage to Kenny's side show. We're going to get together every Thursday, 5 p.m., and just sit back, relax, maybe crack a beer, hang out and chat on Twitter Spaces, not Twitch Spaces, Twitter Spaces, and just relax and watch the whole goddamn thing go right down the fucking toilet. Because that's what's going to happen, folks. That's what's going to happen. Either one of these two. Now, here's the thing. What does this pave the way for? A sudden switch? There is precedent in history of fucking presidential politics in the United States. The Democratic Party could switch out pretty much anybody they wanted to. They could snatch up fucking RFK Jr. and say, okay, you're going to be our fucking candidate this time. They could switch up. They could go with fucking Jon Stewart. They could go, which would be I would leave the country. They could switch up with Michelle Obama. They could put Hillary Clinton in as the candidate. Of course, she wouldn't win, but they could do that. They could put Norman Finkelstein in. They could put me in. Hey, Dems, here I am. Of course, I'm not going to give you what you want. They could literally put anybody they want in his place. Because what difference does the will of the people make? And after this performance, he gets worse throughout the whole fucking thing. After this performance, after his we can finally kill Medicare. After this performance, he's going to be gone. I imagine. Either that or we're just going to resign ourselves to a fucking weekend at Bernie's president. And everyone's going to know that he's not doing jack shit except screaming and crying over fucking tapioca pudding and shitting himself in his Pampers. Everyone's going to know that he's just, well, what we've all known, a figurehead. Somebody sitting around eating beautiful cake while his generals decide to kill a beloved fucking guy in Iran. Somebody who doesn't make decisions. A clown. Because it's a clown show. Now, if you want to get really fucking meta on it, that also serves the interest of the World Economic Forum and others. To say, you know what? This whole democracy thing, look, here you go. It doesn't work. We should have board members and CEOs getting together and running the country and making decisions. And just do away with this whole fucking grand experiment that someone named Lincoln once talked about. Which, of course, is what they really want. So, here we are. You know, that could be part of the grand design. Instead of giving him fucking Adderall, they gave him lithium. Fuck it. We'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you one thing right now. It's like, I hate to compare the two, but then again, you know, Bobby Kennedy, RFK, not his son, his useless fucking son, fucking sex-addicted piece of shit son, but Bobby was trying to fucking kill Castro. He's trying to kill him, fucking assassinate his brother, put him in charge of fucking trying to kill fucking Castro. Trying to assassinate a beloved fucking leader of another country on behalf of big business. Wanted to get the mob back into fucking Cuba. But they couldn't let that motherfucker take power. They couldn't let him take power, 1968. And he would have. Easily. Because they knew he had a fucking axe to grind. And that was the murder of his brother. They could not let him take power. By the same token, can they let Clown Boy take power? Because he's got a lot of axes to grind. One thing's for sure. The Julian Assange bump for the Biden campaign, over. It is done. Ain't gonna do him no good. And old fat Julian doesn't care. He's dancing around on the beach someplace in Saipan with his wife and his household and his kids. I'm just... Just when you think it can't get any worse, of course it does. It makes you smile. Anyway, tomorrow, back to other stuff. Back to Gaza, back to COVID, back to the fucking jabs, back to fucking H5N1, back to what we're doing in Syria, of course, back to what's going on in other countries across the world. Hezbollah, I haven't talked about Hezbollah. I haven't talked about fucking Lebanon. We got to talk about that shit as well. So that's going to be the next thing we talk about. I just had to get involved in this. When I heard that he said we're going to kill off Medicare, when we can finally kill Medicare and get everybody on my goddamn fucking Romney care plan, Obamacare plan for big business, then we'll be doing all right. Then we'll see some real progress. Okay, now next question, Mr. President. Stop. Don't talk about that. Ah, Jesus. Anyway, that's my take on it. Everybody's doom and gloom. Oh my God, Jack Black is sitting in his household right now, just slamming fucking bourbon and fucking Coke. I just had to talk about bad timing. That fucking t-shirt he's wearing with fucking the red eyes for Biden. He's a Terminator. Yeah. If you're a bowl of tapioca, he is.